Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking Lamh Marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we're talking because I have some thoughts and opinions on Sunni's waste of time live that I told you guys not to tune in for. I told you guys she was not going to say anything. She was not going to address anything. I told you guys in the two videos I did earlier in the week on Monday and the Tuesday, I told you guys that if Sunni was going to address the situation at hand and truly address whether or not Moses was locked up and all of these things, that was the opportune time to do it. And her telling the people waiting till Saturday for her to address something was a cop-out, was to garner interest, was for you to, have your notifications on for her platform and all this other stuff. And my thing is this. Why all the games? Why all the tomfoolery, right? So shout out to Empress Radio. Shout out to Show Styles and Spirit. I listened to a little bit of their videos and kind of got the gist of it that you guys didn't need to watch. The gist of it, you guys, was you didn't need to watch. Like I told you guys, you didn't need to watch. I, in fact, told you guys to enjoy your Saturday. Watch college football. Spend time with your family. Touch grass. I told you guys, you were not going to get any answers from Sunni, and the fact that she was promoting it like it was should have told you everything you needed to know. And now that there is backlash because the live was a flop, because people were expecting answers, she has now gone on social media and she had posted saying, I never said it was a tell-all in one live. I am on a show and have certain obligations until I'm not. Well, here is the thing. All you had to flat out say is yes or no. Is Moses currently locked up? Like it's clear as day. And so apparently, according, to the people who sat through the tomfoolery of the several, however long the live was, it sounded like it was an hour, a couple of hours or something. I don't know. But basically, Sunni was passive-aggressive once again. Now, the last time I remember her being this passive-aggressive was the energy she had when she was saying and making allegations that people had doxed her and Moses and found out her real names, and that if they showed up to a certain address, not to be upset, what happens, that matters were going to be allegedly taken into their own hands. So she was bringing that same type of energy, I guess, to this live, or perhaps it might have even been more worse or more defensive. I don't know. But for whatever reason, it sounds like she was basically attacking the viewing audience, which is never a good idea. Apparently, she was claiming that she didn't see what was being said or wasn't seeing the comments, but was directly responding to comments. So I just don't understand how you can make so many mistakes in one video, right? You claim you don't see what's happening, but you somehow are aware of what the people are saying. So it can't be both. And now I guess there's more threats against bloggers because I guess some bloggers were saying something about the feds or that he was doing federal time or any of this. I don't know where that's coming from. From all intents and purposes, the only thing that I heard that was being floated around was, an alleged DUI charge. Don't know whether or not that's true. And basically that he's allegedly been in prison since, August. And that the alleged reason he was in prison was because he basically was in violation in trying to film a reality show, Lamh Marriage Huntsville. He was trying to be a reality star and he was not supposed to. So how did we go from A to Z? How did we go to 0 from 100 to this being about the feds? What? And then Sunni apparently did some song and dance wanting to talk about Moses' criminal past and talk about, that the documents that are circling around isn't related to what's going on currently. Well, you're kind of admitting without admitting that Moses is locked up. So I'm not sure if the charges are more or less severe in 2024, how that still negates the fact that Moses currently does not have freedom. Like that's the whole thing, right? Because unless you were gonna do a boom shakalaka, here comes Moses, he's not in prison on this live should have never happened. And that's what I told you guys on Monday and Tuesday. That it was going to be smoke and mirrors, it was going to be a lot of fluff, it was going to be a lot of BS, it was going to be gaslighting. And now all of a sudden, everybody else is to blame. We all need to be kind. We all need to be this. But then you're accusing the people who are reporting on this or have a strong reaction to this that they are, quote unquote, getting trains ran by them, or that they, quote unquote, don't know their father, or they, quote unquote, don't know their baby daddy. What? This is the same, low vibrational takes that we hear from Letitia when she was describing, Mel supporters and the millimeters. This is the same low vibrational takes that Funny Unhooked always says anytime people come for her. And it's like, do you guys have anything original to say? Do you guys have anything original to do? You guys don't say this when, anybody else, comes for you, or some of your favorite A-listers, want to clap back at the haters who are married with kids and know who their fathers are. You aren't accusing them of having a train ran on them and talking about how everybody has done stuff in their 20s. Well, I can raise my hand and say that I wasn't breaking the law in my 20s, you guys. I can raise my hand and say that I was getting multiple degrees in my 20s, right? That my mind was not on, a whole bunch of dudes and trying to get at dudes and trying to be somebody's wife and all these other things. My mind was on money. My mind was on money and success and all the things. That's what my mind was on. So, maybe people were brought up differently. Maybe people had different goals and aspirations. But my goals and aspirations is not tied to whether or not a man is in my life, you guys. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But this is the type of projection that takes place when you are just going tunnel vision and you think that the most jugular insults and the most below the belt insults that you can make at somebody is really going to make something shake, and it just flops. Like this live did. Just like everything else is doing. Here's the thing, Sunny. You had fans. You had supporters. But the supporters are going to disappear quickly if you keep insulting them. Why should people come to your platform if you're going to cuss them out? Why should people co-watch your YouTube if you are going to, accuse the people that are watching of having trains ran on them and being, promiscuous and all these things? And then once again, you're on this, I've got a man, I've got a husband. Well, what does that really mean, Sunny, if he's not physically here to provide? If he's not physically here to be a husband, if he is not physically here with any level of freedom, it's not the flex that you think it is. But you're talking about be kind, but people can argue you weren't kind to Destiny. And then the thing about, I guess, people feel away, or I guess people that were saying Moses' real name and all this and that Moses, Destiny introduced him as Moses so that people should not be feeling away about him being called Moses, and that Moses has been transparent about his past and that he's been in prison and all these things. Listen, we know, Sunny, you're not telling us any new information. And she's all about, upset that people are judging the situation, judging her, judging Moses. Here's the thing. Are we supposed to throw a party that Moses is back in jail? Are we supposed to be celebrating that Moses is back in jail? Or are we going to have a real conversation that if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes? If you know that you are on probation, if you know that there are certain rules and parameters you need to follow through per the court order, and you choose to, take a pivot to become a reality star, take a pivot because you want to be on TV, you can't be upset with the consequences, and you can't be upset if people drag it. But there's a difference between dragging and throwing shade and just flat out, name calling. And that's where I have an issue, because I feel like if you cannot articulate your points without going below the belt or just doing flat out name calling, how am I supposed to take you seriously? How am I supposed to watch any of your content? If you can't even articulate the basics of the basics, which is it should have just been, yes, Moses in jail, he can come and speak to his situation when he comes out, blah, 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 and kept it moving. But you wanted to go in a whole another spiel of all of these other things that nobody cared about. You wanted to give smoke and mirrors and give non-answers and then get upset on your platform that people didn't buy what you were selling. And claiming that you said you never were going to spill everything in one live. Well, you spilled nothing in this live either. It was nothing, like I said, but, a whole guilt trip mess. You want people to be nice and be kind and have empathy, but then you're dragging the same people that would give you that same type of empathy and all these things. Like, it's so weird. It is so weird. And I just don't understand. But Sunni, you had one job. You had one thing to do. And that was to, tell the truth to the people. Not insult the people, not insult the intelligence of the people, not, do all of these other things that had nothing to do with anything. But you did that. And it's weird. It is weird behavior. But it's funny, you have all this beef with the bloggers, but now you want to be a blogger. But then you're making the cardinal mistake of already insulting people and alienating a potential fan base instead of just laying out the truth. If you lay out the truth and stop making false accusations about the people who are viewing you or talking about you, you would do a lot better. But instead, you made this into something that it didn't need to be. And you have completely taken the focus away of what could have been something lucrative for you to build your platform and build your channel. Now you're turning people off of your channel, because if it's going to be nothing but you just insulting people, why should people tune in? If you're not going to provide anything that is of substance and that is of educational, and it's just going to be, we've got to all throw a party and a ceremony for Moses and all these things. We need to feel sorry for Moses. If Moses did this to himself, allegedly, like what are we talking about? But again, when you are so riled up that you have not taken a moment, the stuff broke on Monday. So the fact that you have not taken a breath to really assess what people are saying and going off of hearsay or listening to different clips and things of different people's platforms, but not putting everything together as to how you could have crafted a much better response than what you did tonight, just shows that you were not in the right headspace to be dealing with this right now. It shows that you were too stressed out right now to properly assess what is being said and how to properly articulate a good response to the people that is not insulting them, that is not dragging them, that is not treating them all like they are out here trying to be little mini OnlyFans stars. Because that's basically what you came across to the people. But that you're asking these same people to be nice to you and be kind to you. Well, how can you expect kindness in return if you're insulting the audience? That's not how this works. And saying that you knew that you signed up for reality TV and that you're still a person. Well, everyone knows that they sign up for reality TV. But you should know better than everybody that if people are going to hide their lives, that is going to come out. If you are transparent, that's one thing. But you put 2110 with this Destiny stuff, which caused presumably a certain fan base to look into why you were going so hard. It was one thing at the beginning, like I said, that you were pissed off that Destiny was ignoring your calls and text messages, but felt comfortable enough to go on a media tour, a podcast tour, and talk about the situation and talk about how good a friend you were and all these things, but wasn't answering your phone calls or messages, right? For you guys to have a woman-to-woman conversation, right? But The stuff that's taking place after, where it's just a continuance of just tomfoolery, that's when people were like, okay, can we move on from this, right? And then that's when people were like, well, why isn't Moses saying anything? Why isn't Moses doing anything, right? And then that's when people found out because he doesn't currently have freedom to say or do anything. But don't insult the audience. Don't insult the fans. Don't insult people who potentially were supporting you and defending you all this time, Sunni. And play in their face like this. There's even people who are still doing you a courtesy of not even saying your real name or Moses' real name. And you're crapping on them. Unnecessarily. Stop projecting all of these horrible things onto the people that you do not know personally at all. All people are reacting to is what has been leaked, what has been, the leading topic as it pertains to Love and Marriage Huntsville this week. Now, if you were just going to come out, like I said, a simple statement could have been, yes, Moses is locked up. He can speak on what happened when he gets out. Case closed. But when you turn this into a whole insult fest, a whole drag fest, oh, wait till Saturday, I'm going to spill the tea fest, and then it didn't get any tea spilled, so then you're yelling at the people again, saying it wasn't going to be a whole tell-all in one life. Well, then what's the point? People are not going to keep coming back to clickbait and fake news. That's not how this works. If you weren't going to answer anything in the video, just say that. But I told you guys that. I told you guys that Monday and Tuesday. You were not going to get the answers you were looking for. Because she was too in her feelings. She was too upset. She was more concerned about what other narratives people were running with than just saying what the facts were for what it was. And now all of a sudden we all need to have empathy and be, kind and all these things. But you're insulting people. So how are they supposed to be kind if you're not being kind? People were having light shade and jokes about Moses going to prison and being a career criminal. It had nothing to do with you, but you made it about yourself, doing all these additional lives, adding speculation that Moses wasn't around. And that's when people started to dig. Now, I'm totally against, going in people's DMs or attacking people or doxing people or all that other stuff. I feel all of that is unnecessary. But the people that were simply reacting to why Moses currently isn't here and reacting to the subsequent lives that you've been doing all week, even though you said you didn't have time to do, is valid. People have a valid reason to give their opinion and react. That is called creating content. But the content you're creating is flat out disrespecting the audience. So why should people tune in? Especially if you're not going to answer the number one question people had, which was, is Moses currently in jail? We know about his past. We know that he has a record. That's not new information, Sunni. You didn't have to waste your time telling us about that or telling us about black men in prison and all these things. We know all of that stuff. You should have just came in short and sweet. Yes, Moses in prison. He can speak about his charges or speak about what happened when he gets out. And that's all I'll say about that. And let me talk about my Tubi stuff and my, home repair stuff, and kept it moving. But all of the other fluff, the threats to bloggers, and you're trying to become a blogger, the threats to the audience that were viewing it, and the insults to the people that you need the support and the viewership from, isn't it? You can't be defensive like this. It's not a good look, Sunni. And this is sound advice. This is not hatred. This is not name calling. This isn't, all of these things. You can properly articulate your thoughts and give an opinion without the name calling. But don't insult the intelligence of others and expect people to give you that same type of respect back. That's not how this is going to work, because people change their opinions fast. They change their allegiances fast. And if they feel sour on you that you've disrespected them and you've insulted them, they're going to let you know about it. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.